As we move through our short but sweet survey of TV half-hour sitcoms, we started with I Love Lucy, very important because one of the first TV shows to use film. It was not done live, it was filmed, and Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz owned their own production company, Desilu Productions, and later went on to become millionaires when, because of their foresight to film their show, they were able to syndicate it. So that started us off at 53, but now we come to Leave It to Beaver, which really moves us into the 60s. Leave It to Beaver ran 57 to 63 until we had what many call the end of the innocence, the shooting of President John F. Kennedy in November of 63, and then the Beatles coming ashore in 64. Leave It to Beaver went off the air just a few months before the assassination of President Kennedy. But Leave It to Beaver was much more in the older radio drama mold, in the mold of older shows such as Father Knows Best, the sweet middle class family where nothing too bad ever goes wrong. Of course, we don't see juvenile delinquency except slightly in the figure of Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver, my favorite character, Eddie Haskell. Eddie Haskell rules the world. Leave It to Beaver. Jerry Mathers is the Beaver. There you go. That's for your quiz. Jerry Mathers is the Beaver, and Barbara Billingsley as the mom, and Hugh Beaumont as the dad. The show was important, though, because it showed the life of the family really from the viewpoint of the two sons, Beaver and his older brother, Wally, and also showed them growing up and allowed them to grow naturally. Wally is a kind of a dorky 12-year-old at first, but then as he grows through the 6 seasons, is 18 years old and has girlfriends and is going off to college. So the show really matured, moved us from the late 50s into the 60s. Never became too topical, always was fairly tame. Some criticized it for being too homogenous, too white bread, too tame. But it does show the transition from the very plain 50s into the 60s, and then we will move into Bewitched. The syllabus may say, what might it say? It might say Beverly Hillbillies, but Bewitched actually is much better because that moves us into the times of the later 60s, and then as we go into the 70s, things become more topical again with All in the Family, Archie Bunker, the lovable bigot, and then into the 80s with Married with Children. So Leave It to Beaver, a classic half-hour comedy that ran for 6 years and has been in wide syndication from that time. You can watch lots of them on YouTube. So check it out, a full episode for you to watch from the very first season, 1957, Leave It to Beaver, with Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.